Before you do anything, like and subscribe.
Jeez. All right. So right now, I want to talk about artists having to get themselves hot, and that's a thing that you're not really you're not really prepared for. Like as an artist, you expect that you do all this work, and at some point, you're getting signed or you have a partnership with a company, whatever your situation is. Either way, you're expecting that all of this hard work is leading to you being with a bigger team or in a machine that's going to do some of this work for you. And that's not even necessarily always the case. And for the most part, that's not the case. They expect, they being like the labels or the people that do actually have the machine, they expect you as the artist to basically bring everything that you've been doing over to them so they can study it, put a little bit of manpower behind it, but basically they just want to spotlight what you've already been doing, put money behind what you've already been doing. So if you don't have your own team going, well, let me not get into that because that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about having to get hot. You're gonna come to a point where it's like, all right, cool. I got my albums done or my single is ready, etc. Like, cool, but you're cold right now. We need you to go out there and get yourself hot. And that's the point that I feel that I'm back at again as an artist. I have to go out here and get myself hot. That's interviews and other people's podcasts and freestyles and blogs and advertising and music videos, a lot of music videos, lyrics being published, shows, hostings. It's a lot of shit that I just have to go out and do myself every time that I gear up to go and do this thing that we call, music, releasing music into the world. I have to go and get myself hot again. And it's, sometimes it's fun, and when you're younger, maybe it's a lot more fun. I feel like this is going to be a lot of fun. I miss being outside. I miss doing shows. I miss interacting with people. I'm not antisocial, but I'm very like socially awkward, I would say. So I'm good at putting myself in situations when it comes to just getting myself out there, getting my name out there. But as far as the follow up, I'm bad at that because the follow up requires a lot of like talking, a lot of showing of my face, I guess I should say. And I'm not that I have any issues with my face, you know what I'm saying? Like I love my face. But I don't know. A lot of the times it feels forced, and it is. And I've never been someone who's comfortable with that part of things. Let me stop rubbing my eyes while I'm trying to record a video for YouTube. I'm not someone who's comfortable with the forced part of being an artist, and which is why I kind of focus on the business when it comes to myself and just helping other artists versus me being a superstar. I don't know. I don't want to say that because I'm a superstar in my own right. Let me not downplay myself like that. I just in the mainstream end of things, there's certain steps that have to be taken every time that you step out, and that's not stuff that I'm comfortable with. But there's a big portion of it that is fun that I'm gonna have to do and that I'm gonna enjoy doing. But it's mostly being the example for what I can do for other people. So I've done this long enough to know where the fun is and how to find it. So shows is going to be interesting, stepping back outside. I love performing outside of my region. I love performing out of state. meeting new people and seeing new things. That's been my main thing, especially after stepping out last year on tour briefly. I'm going to be doing that more frequently. Going to be doing this podcast situation more frequently. You're going to be bringing in guests. You know, you see this chair over here for the people on YouTube. I'm going to be bringing in guests. Someone will be sitting in this chair, and I will be talking to myself next to someone or something of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to figure out something to call the feature when I'm sitting here, not talking to myself, but talking to myself. Damn, that did not make sense. But that's the things that happen when you're freestyling this whole thing. So again, going out there, getting myself hot. Visuals. I want to do music videos, so I'm very excited to get back into being the artist that's being on the other side of the camera, because I've got a lot of ideas visually that aren't just me in front of a car or like me in front of me in like a big rented house, or you know what I'm saying, just not the usual things. I've got a lot of interesting things that I want to get across visually to make my videos pop out and be more interesting. I've been working on more content creation, and it's going really well. It's going great actually on Facebook. I've been focusing less on Instagram and more on Facebook. My reach is just way bigger. My reach is in the hundreds of millions on Facebook, and my reach on Instagram is like 3,000. And that's without ads or anything like that, just organically. I'm doing better on Facebook with reaching people with the same post. I've been testing out posting the same reels, and the interesting thing, let me not get to scratching my head. The interesting thing with Facebook reels is that they're only 30 seconds. So they have to really hit in order for people to keep viewing and sharing and so on and so forth. The reels are longer, like a minute or two on Instagram, and I'm not getting the same reach. So I've definitely been, and Facebook has they've got a lot of money over there for the content creators. So I'm trying to, crack the code and get my insights up so I can get them to start cutting me that check. They've got a good like 38,000 available if you hit certain benchmarks. So I'm getting closer, which is dope. Because at this point, it's less about what looks good and what makes sense. Like, as a content creator, you do have to be generating a check from the content that you're creating. And so it's taking some time to get my numbers up, get my engagement up, get my consistency up, posting things that are getting shared and that I'm actually putting together versus just reposting somebody else's thing. Like, I'm cutting together footage or repurposing other people's footage with different audio and text and getting it further than it was when I just left it alone. So that's been interesting. And just doing that all basically from my phone, just cutting together video, pics, and text. And yeah, so it's working on Facebook. I can't explain it, but it is. So, and it'll only get better once I start pumping out these Instagram and Facebook ads and Snapchat ads and YouTube ads and mobile billboards, digital billboards. You know what I need to do? Hold on, pause. I need a sip of water. Cotton mouth is crazy. What I need is the hookup on the courtside seat, the courtside seat NBA game look. Like that's a big thing for bigger artists is that they've got the hookup on the courtside seat. They get the courtside seat at the important game. Camera stops and makes sure it pans to them, shows their name. Maybe the ticker at the bottom says they got an album coming out or it just dropped or whatever they do to them. You know what I'm saying? They just go back to watching the game, and they might not even stay for the whole game because it's not like the seat belongs to somebody who actually wants to watch the game some of the time. So the artist might not even be there for the entire game. They're just there for the photo op. They might dip at halftime, or they might come later. You know what I'm saying? They're just there for the photo op. But that is a big thing as of lately that I've been seeing artists doing, and it's not cheap, and that's why only the bigger artists are doing it, because it does cost you some money, and they'll tell you that it'll cost you some money, but it is a good look, and it'll help show your. I don't know what I mean. Those artists are known already, and it's just kind of keep reminding people that aren't like their average fans that like, hey, I'm important. I'm in this seat. I can afford this seat. This thing at the bottom is telling you why I can be in this seat or why I'm in this seat. I've got a project dropping. You know what I'm saying? What else has been big? Oh, artists going to the games with other artists and it being speculated that they're in a relationship or not. But it's like, oh no, we just half the time it's just artists that are working together and they're just going to the game for the look that I'm just saying that I'm telling you about. But the other half of the time it is artists that are couples that are just kind of stepping out and showing their face for one of the first couple times. So that's been interesting to see that where it's not the artists aren't couples, but they step out and do the couple look at the games. I'm not doing that, but I was gonna hit you with a butt. I don't have a butt for that. But yeah, so I'm stuck in the mode of getting myself back hot. So interviews and all that good stuff. So freestyles. Got to step back out, show niggas that I can rap and shit. So I'll jump into different challenges. Man, this cotton mouth. I will jump into different challenges that I see online that in regards to rapping. But visuals is going to be my big thing this year, is pumping out my Busta Rhymes level type visuals, just getting real creative with the we're not creative, just doing visuals that actually match the lyrics. A lot of times artists visuals aren't matching the lyrics, and the ones that do, those visuals tend to stick out in my mind. I love those. So just doing visuals that actually match the lyrics, because the lyrics are already visual in their own sense. Like when you hear my songs, like you have a good I'm descriptive enough to help you picture something, like whatever I'm talking about. You could draw a pretty good picture. I'm not just rhyming real basic in your face. I'm pretty good at breaking down a story start to finish. So I like to be really descriptive when I rap. I would love for my visuals to really point out the things that I feel that I'm speaking on, whether it be serious or funny or whatever. But that's that. Artists, you have to go out and get yourself hot, whether you're signed or not, got a partnership or not. Whenever it's time to release music, that means that you should be really consistent online and in these streets. Radio ads, that's another thing that I've got to do today. I've got to call around to my local radio stations and get the current rates on 60-second spots. I've got to run radio ads on the songs, on the album that I'm dropping, so that'll help me get my streams up. I'm going to be collecting plaques this year on the numbers that I've already done, but Really focused on just kind of being, not just kind of, I'm really focused on being visual and just kind of, man, I keep saying just kind of, but I'm not just kind of anything. I'm really doing everything to the utmost. I'm going to be using this studio as much as I can. Um, I can honestly say that I haven't been using it to its fullest potential as of late, and that's definitely going to stop. I need to monetize this space as much as I can. Same thing going for the office space. I've moved offices from downtown LA to West Hollywood. One because there is this a homeless person that's kind of occupied the downtown office space and just kind of been camping out and taking full advantage of the 24-hour access. So I've switched over to the West Hollywood location for a day. I love the view. I love that it has more space, and it just puts me in a better money area for the things that I have going on. It's very inspiring to my day. So that's going to help me crank out more content. I'm taking the time to work on beats during the day in between doing all of my running around. So just trying to catch up to my son's consistency. And I'd like to just start making a beat a day if I can. And they might go up on the beat store, they might not, who knows, but you can't do anything but get better. You know what I'm saying? Just working on being more of a coach and less of the player, per usual. And that it is what it is. But this is and also being the player, I've got to go out here, like I said, get myself hot. So there's that. Let's see how that goes. That's it for this segment. We'll be back after a break and we'll get into another segment.